So what I need you to understand is that if you're going to take your trading to the next level, you're going to have to transition from who you are now to who you have to be. You understand what I'm saying? Sniper. A shooter's job is someone who knows how to use a gun, who knows how to load a gun, who knows how to point a gun, who knows how to even clean a gun, who knows how to do those things associated with a gun. But a sniper, really, their task goes beyond just using a gun and moves over into precision targets. If you're going to be a successful day trader, in fact, let me talk about that word day trader, because everyone can be a day trader. In other words, you can actually get into the market on a daily basis and put in a trade, but not everyone will become a sniper day trader. There is a definitive difference. Snipers deal with precision. They operate differently than an ordinary soldier and shooter. Their task is to see and to stalk out targets that cannot see them. Did you just hear what I said? That cannot see them. Oftentimes, a sniper will take a shot that is so far out of range that an ordinary soldier cannot see it, and the person being shot or the target being shot at cannot see the bullet coming. Now, one of the easiest ways to make sure that you are seen in the market by the market makers is to subscribe to a trading methodology or strategy that is so, let me say, well known or often regurgitated information that is so obvious that the market makers can see you in the market, not by actually physically looking at you. They're not coming through your webcam or something like that, but they can see you in the market because you're subscribing to things that are being put out and perpetuated by them in the first place. What comes to mind is like simple support and resistance, for instance, where you draw lines on a chart. Do me this favor, scrunch up your chart. When you get a chance, do me this favor, scrunch up your chart. In other words, zoom out of your chart and throw some lines on it at random spots. Then zoom back in again. You're going to notice almost every line you throw will hit some sort of support or hit some sort of resistance. And that in turn should show you and make you understand that that doesn't work. Throwing lines on the chart where you found many touches and many points of, it just doesn't work effectively as it should. Now, can it work? Yes, it can. And it can work in the hands of a shooter, but never in the hands of a sniper. Snipers deal with precision. One of the other things that a sniper does is a sniper will often lay at one spot in not the best of conditions and wait patiently until a target appears, not moving from the spot. And the reason they don't move from that spot is because they might miss the opportunity to take the shot. How does that relate to trading, for instance? If you're going to be a sniper trader, you need to have a setup that you stalk out in the market and that you see coming from afar. And you really need to not move from that particular setup. You have to stay there. Oftentimes I find a whole lot of traders are shooters in the sense that they are looking for some holy grail strategy, something that works all the time, something that's 90% or 99% accurate. And I'm sorry to say this, but most precision traders will tell you there is no such things. Snipers oftentimes have to take many shots in training before they actually take live shots that ends up becoming successful. I find that a lot of people assume that putting live money into a live account will automatically make them successful. In actual fact, it doesn't work that way. You have to put in the shots on a demo. And you need to operate with precision on a demo. When snipers go for training, and I heard this recently, They even have this thing called, I forget the name, but it has lasers. So they use simulation training, and these lasers will tell them everything about how they are shooting, what they are doing. And the main thing about how they use this is they have to use it exactly as if they were in combat. And then and only then will they get the results required to make them better. So if you're on a demo account and you're putting in your work of taking those shots day in and day out, understand this: the only way you get value out of that demo account is if you're using it exactly as you'd use it if you're on a live account. But don't get fooled into thinking that if you're thrown into the battlefield, which is called trading, and you have a live account and you have enough money, that somehow that will translate into becoming a successful trader. Absolutely not. If you're going to be a sniper, you're going to have to put in the practice, you're going to have to put in the time. Snipers use precision tools, and they use tools that are specific to them. A sniper and a shooter, they do not use the same tools. Let me make another analogy. There's this gun called the AK-47. It's also known as man's favorite killing machine. It's got a very bad name, I know. And its duty is not really precision. Its duty is to totally annihilate and obliterate the target that's being shot at. And so a sniper would not use that kind of tool, because the sniper understands that if it uses an AK-47, there will be many casualties. And oftentimes, if you are a trader and you are an AK-47 type of trader, then what you'll find out that the only casualty will be your account, and you will actually end up blowing your account. No, a sniper uses a precision rifle with a precision scope, and its duty is to stalk out a specific target and wait and exercise a great degree of patience and take one shot. It amazes me that most people do not understand that all they need to do is make 5% a day or even 1% a day, and they will already be exceeding all other investment vehicles that there are. If you can make 1% on your account per day, over a few years, you will make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. But the problem is that most people cannot see and understand that a few good shots, a few high precision shots can change everything. If you're going to be a trader or a day trader, you're going to have to want to try and be a sniper. A sniper also works on a suit. They all are supposed to build their own suit. When they put you, the US military put you through sniper training, one of the requirements is that all snipers have to build their own combat suit. Now, it's a camouflage based suit, and it's got all sorts of what looks like twigs and hairs and things hanging off it. And this suit needs to be able to stand the test of the worst conditions you can possibly imagine. But the key factor here to understand is that they have to build their own suit. And I heard a sniper explain this recently, and that suit will often last you your entire career as a sniper. That suit, trader, is your trading plan. You need to build your trading plan. Now, in our academy, we do not give trading plans. Yes, we do show what our trading plans might look like. We do kind of show that give guidelines of how you can do a trading plan, but we absolutely don't make one for you, because if you do not make it yourself, you cannot appreciate how well it works. You cannot appreciate or understand how hard and how difficult it is to come to a successful plan. And once you get that, the rest, as they say, is history. And the history I'm talking about is the market is history, because you've been able to break it by having a successful trade plan. Snipers have to be able to block out outside information. And so oftentimes they will operate with what's called a spotter. And the spotter's duty is really to look at everything around the sniper while the sniper is focused and honed in on the actual target, or stalking out and waiting for the target to appear. Now, there's a couple of things I can draw from that. Number one is you have to be in a community. Snipers don't operate alone. They operate with a spotter, and you need to be sure that you have your spotters as well. A community helps and assists you by making sure that as they grow, as they see things, they also show you what they see, and by implication, you have a good source of outside information feeding in to you, making sure that when you take the shot, you have no distractions. The next thing I'll draw from that is that I find oftentimes people who are trying to become good day traders have so much conflicting information that when they finally take the shot, it's almost always off target. I find some people fancy themselves being naked traders, but they've got 8 indicators on their charts. I find others fancy themselves being an indicator-based trader, but they're looking at candles all the time and it just doesn't compute. You need to decide what tools you're going to use in your arsenal and use only that. Use only that. Don't be those shooters that are chasing after a holy grail strategy, never really ever finding something because they are not practicing becoming a sniper. Instead, they are just practicing to be ordinary shooters, and the only casualty, as I said earlier on, is their count. Snipers operate on a different wavelength. They will often suppress how they feel in order to wait and stalk out a target. Let me make an example. There's been reports of snipers that would lay in position for days, literally days, waiting for a target to appear, with the fear that if they should move away from there, they might miss the opportunity. A couple of things we can draw from that. Number one would be that not every day is a trade day. Sometimes it might take you days to see your setup. Even if you're a scalper, even if you're a day trader, it might take you days to see your specific setup. And in that period, you need to understand that you need to suppress your emotion, the FOMO, as they say, at that emotion of trying to get into the market at all times, to be active in the market. You need to be able to suppress that and wait in position until your target appears. You don't need a lot to make a lot. You just need to be precise. You need to wait and stalk it out to make a lot. The sniper's duty is not to do all things, but is to do one thing well, and that is shoot. It's not to go out and be a fighter pilot the one day and be a soldier the next and do this and do that. No, its duty is to do one thing and do one thing very well. I find that many traders have become jack of all trades and master of no trades. Yeah, I changed up that words for a little bit. Forgive me if it feels like a little bit of a rant, but I think this kind of thing will help you if you understand that now is the time you need to make the decision. Now I'm speaking to our students, but I'm also speaking to whoever's watching this YouTube video. It's time for you to decide. Let me tell you how important that decision is, or how powerful that decision is, or what I'd have you do. Many people are trying to decide, are they scalpers, are they day traders, are they indicator-based traders, are they naked traders? Do they do this in that way? Do they trade that session or that? No. The power of a decision and commitment is so powerful that even if you were to choose something that doesn't fully fit your personality, you'll probably end up being good at it. So what am I trying to say with that? Should you go and do something that doesn't fit you? Of course not. But I'd rather you make a decision and stick to it, and then decide that this is not for you, as opposed to jumping from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. Now is the time. Everyone listening to my voice, now is the time to decide what type of trade you will be, what type of outside information you will use. And when I'm speaking about outside information, I'm talking about confluences. What are your confluences? How many of them do you need before you take a trade? What is your setup? Decide on it now, stick to it, and then work on it and become good at that. We have a saying in our community, we are always students, we are always getting better. Now, you can be a master and a student at the same time. You need to become a master, a sniper of your craft, but always being a student of that same craft. In other words, you're good at what you do, but you never assume that you have arrived. You always assume that there's a way to make it better. Snipers, they judge wind speed, they judge the terrain, the conditions, and that's what you got to do. You got to understand what are the market conditions today. Sometimes it's very volatile, sometimes it's very slow, but you need to be able to take in that information and then respond accordingly as a sniper as opposed to a shooter. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you spend enough time doing one thing well as opposed to doing everything bad. Now is the time to decide what type of trader you will be. Will you be a shooter or will you be a sniper? What's crazy is that we also found something common amongst all sniper traders in our community. They all have, and I kid you not, this is common to them all. They all have liked, commented, and subscribed to this YouTube channel.